I mean, well, let's don't wishy-washy about it. Is the NFL scripted or is it not?
Man, I think they got billions of reasons to have an interest in who's there.
Is the NFL scripted? And I'm going to yell it a little louder because I don't think you heard me. Is the NFL scripted or is it not?
Absolutely. There you go.
Okay. Now that we got that out of the way, so you're a flat earther, NFL scripted.
No,
So we're going all the way that way. All the way with
all the other
conspiracy
conspiracies, but sometimes when you start labeling yourself sports entertainment and there's billions of dollars on the line, I don't believe there's not some people, blowing some wind in the sail to make the boat move, if that makes sense.
Welcome to Big B Daily. No frauds allowed.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Big B Daily Show. This is your man, Big B, Brien Hanley. I appreciate you guys being here. We are live on TikTok. What's going on TikTok? And we are live on YouTube. What is going on YouTube? Man, it's Friday. We made it. Got a lot to cover today. Caitlin Clark, she declared for the WNBA. We've got the NFL Combine. Is it a waste of time or does it really help? And then we've got the top 5 rush ins of all time. We're doing a little series every Friday that we are talking about each position, the best top 5 players at each position. Today is top 5 rush ins. So everybody, we appreciate everybody being here, man. On TikTok, keep tapping the screen. We appreciate it. We need at least 5,000 likes, 30 new follows. So if you are in here, please give us a follow, man. We appreciate it. Love everybody. And then do us a favor, click on the link in YouTube and come on over and subscribe to YouTube. Big B Sports Talk. Come join the live. A lot of access over on YouTube that you don't get on TikTok. So we appreciate it, man. So we love everybody. Thank you guys for coming in. Let's get to this. So Caitlin Clark, she declared for the WNBA draft that's coming up. Indiana Fever have the first pick. Thanks for the gifts, man. We appreciate it. I guess my first thought is it just the right move for her? Somebody over on TikTok already says she's going to take a pay cut. And yeah, I think she is. I know she is. Cut out the endorsement stuff, all that. She's taking a pay cut. However, the main thing is, what is it the right move? Like, is she, because if she comes back, if she has a COVID year, she could come back and put this record so far out of reach that nobody would ever touch it again, because I'm banking on there not being another pandemic where we're going to have something like that where somebody gets extra year. So that would be the first thing. She could put the record so far out of reach that it would never be touched again. Heck, she may be doing that now, although Juju out at USC has something to say about that. However, I just think she wants to prove herself. So is that the right move? Is the right move for her saying, you know what? No, I'm done with college. I've proven everything that I could possibly prove in college. She's been the player of the year. She's probably going to be the player of the year again this year. I don't think Iowa's good enough to win a national title, but they might be. They were in the national title game last year. So does it make sense to come back? My initial thought is no. My man Richard Ramos says no one cares. Yeah, Richard, I think you're wrong on that one, my man. We respect your opinion, but everybody cares. She's the face of college football, if not the most recognizable face in college athletics today. So while you disregard her because she's a woman, my man, Yeah, people care. People care. But the bottom line is, I think she's probably done with college. I think she's probably over it. You know, everybody loves college and we love it when we're in it. But at some point, it's good to move on. So it's good to move on. I just think that her thing is, I want to prove myself against the best players in the world. Because a lot of people got a lot of stuff to say about her. And sometimes she's going to be done with that. Somebody pointed out Indiana will love her. Yes, they will. Yes, they will. Indiana is basketball crazy. And her going to the Indiana Fever, they're going to love her. Now, here's the thing. We say she's going to take a pay cut. Yeah, probably, but she'll be able to make a lot of money off the court, especially being in Indiana. A lot of money. So, my man Pat Cockrell says, happy Friday, Goon Squad. Absolutely. Absolutely. And then here's a good thing over here on my man Zach. Why are so many people intimidated by a strong woman? Well, I'm not even going to go so far and say a strong woman because we don't know that she's a strong woman. I would just say, why are people so intimidated by this woman that plays basketball? Like, if you don't like her, don't watch. And people don't watch the WNBA, so let's not kid ourselves. Way more people watch women's college basketball than they do the WNBA. It's not even comparable. So if you don't like it, just don't watch. But don't say people don't care because they absolutely care. They care. My man David Gonzalez over on YouTube. Good comment here. She's selling high. She's at her peak WNBA value-wise. What's the point in putting a woman's college record even further out of reach? Some people like to do that. You know, she also may enjoy college, which apparently she doesn't because she's ready to go. And I don't think it's necessarily at her WNBA value. I think it's at her highest market value. She's never going to be as marketable as she is right now. Never going to be that. Even if she goes and dominates in the WNBA, she's not going to be as more marketable than what she is currently right now. And if they go on another run into the national title game, I mean, she's going to be in the top 5 of most popular players in the country. I mean, am I wrong about that? Let me take a step back. She'll definitely be the most popular female athlete in the country. Now, will she be more popular than NBA guys or NFL guys? Probably not. So maybe I overstepped. But I don't think it's overstepping saying she'd be the most popular female athlete. I don't think so. I don't think so at all. And my man Steve, he said she'd be popular for about 10 minutes. The most popular. Yeah. I mean, it kind of is what it is. Like I said, there's no question she's the face of college basketball right now. No question, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You think college basketball, you think Caitlin Clark right now. And to me, I think that's a good thing. I think that's a good thing. So, man, Darren Howard on YouTube said she got to be taking some money under the table from the WNBA to bring her star to the league. Yeah, I think so too. Because the amount of money, I mean, they're saying she makes $3 million right now. She's not getting anywhere close to $3 million. However, here's the thing. That $3 million is coming from NIL money. If she goes to the professional rank, she'll start getting a salary, which I'm assuming she's going to get top of the line salary, which is like $220,000. And endorsements, which is technically what NIL money is from endorsements. Well, how much will she get? I mean, she's going to be in every commercial that the WNBA has, which is probably going to piss off a lot of WNBA players. They're going to be mad about that. But then she's going to be she's already in a State Farm commercial with Jimmy Butler. I can only imagine it's just going to keep going. So I like it. And good for her. So then we got crazy people. Caitlin Clark's only popular because she's white. So there's never been any black popular women's basketball players? Is that what you're saying? I mean, look, I respect everybody's opinion, and I was told I'm too harsh. And I believe it. I've been too harsh. But when you say stupid stuff like that, I'm going to call you out. Stop being stupid. Just stop being stupid. Okay? Lord have mercy. We can't even have a civilized conversation without somebody being stupid. I just, it is what it is, people. It is what it is. So, anyway, I love the fact that Caitlin Clark is going pro. I like it. I like that she's popular. She's got an edge to her that she's a little whiny. You know, if you watch a game, she whines a lot. She whines to the refs. She does all of that stuff. But don't we love NBA players that whine to the refs? I mean, she does those things. So he does those things. So it's crazy. It's crazy. I think Caitlin Clark is – I don't think she's going to just come right into the WNBA and dominate. Do you guys? Because if anybody ever pays attention, and by the numbers, most people don't pay attention, including myself. I'm talking all this stuff. I don't watch WNBA basketball. I don't do that. But by the numbers, we don't watch. But do you think she's just going to come in and dominate? I don't think so. I don't think so. So, my man Steve-O said Larry Bird did the same thing. Whine. Absolutely. And Larry Bird is my favorite player of all time, and he whined to the refs. LeBron whines to the refs. Michael Jordan, everybody says he didn't whine. That's a lie. Michael Jordan whined to the refs. Tim Duncan whined to the refs. Everybody whines to the refs. So that is the thing. But I like her. I think she's great. I think what she's going to do, and maybe the WNBA will become more popular because of that. Bringing her to the WNBA, maybe more people will tune in. I got to think it's going to get a little bit of a bump. I got to believe it's going to get somewhat of a bump. So we'll see what happens. Man, David Gonzalez says the NBA subsidizes the WNBA, right? Yes, they do. So they really like the league to stop losing money or at least lose less. So I think the NBA is sweetening the pot to get her to join the WNBA. Well, of course, same difference. I mean, let's just call it what it is. The NBA runs the WNBA. Let's just call it what it is. The NBA is the parent company of the WNBA. That's not a knock on women. So before people start saying, oh, you don't like women, blah. If I fund a business, I mean, there's not a partnership there if you lose money and you need me to fund it. There's difference. And they might have a partnership, but the NBA is running the WNBA. That's what's happening. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. It is what it is. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with Caitlin Clark. I think her going to the NBA or the WNBA, is absolutely the right move. And I think it's going to end up enhancing the WNBA in a way that it can benefit the league. So, Indiana should move all their home games to Iowa. Why would they do that? Have you been to a basketball game in Indiana, Shelby? Unless you have, then just go do that first, and then we can talk about whether they should move a game to Iowa. Let's just go to any basketball game in Indiana, and then, oh, man, I guarantee you will say something different. There's no better anything for basketball anywhere in this country than Indiana. The fan support, it's religion in Indiana. So It's just religion. Just religion. My man Pat Cockrell, yeah, I don't watch WNBA. I'd go to a game in person if the opportunity arose, but I'm not seeking it out on TV. And I think that might change a little for some. For some. Because there's a lot of people that don't want the WNBA to succeed, which is odd and weird. Because me personally, I don't care. I want to see it succeed. But am I going to go out of my way to watch it? No. And I know that seems a little contradictory. Hey, Brian, if you want it to succeed, why don't you watch it? It's not exciting to me. That's why. I think women's college basketball is way more exciting, and it appeals to me more than the WNBA. It just does. But I'm the same way with college basketball. I would rather watch a college basketball game than an NBA game until the playoffs get here. And once the playoffs get here, that's something different. So, what is going on, Bill? What's happening? I got to get somebody out of here, people. I apologize. We got some racist guy in here, and we're not going to continue to have him over here on TikTok bothering people. Sorry about that. All right. For those wondering about basketball in Indiana, says my man Austin, take a look at the top 10 biggest high school basketball gyms in the country. See how many are in Indiana. 9. I can answer that question for you. 9, and I played in 3 of them. That's all. Indiana basketball is just different, man. It's just different. And look, I'm never a guy that's going to toot my own horn about what I did 30 years ago, because how does that help me today? But I played basketball, and I was pretty good in Indiana. Pretty good. So I played in some of those gyms. Crazy. A town like Seymour, Indiana. Now, nobody's heard of Seymour, Indiana. Why do they have a high school gym that seats 8,700 people? Newcastle, Indiana. Just think about that. Newcastle, Indiana. Nobody's heard of that. Biggest high school gym in the world. It's Indiana, man. It's Indiana basketball. Caitlin Clark's going into that. They're going to love her there. They are going to love her there. So let's move on, people. Let's move on. Just as a reminder, again, everybody, we are live Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Central Time. On TikTok, we're live. YouTube, we're live. I appreciate everybody showing up today, man. Thank you guys. And every day. You guys show up for me every day, man. So I continue to appreciate it. Just remember, if you're on TikTok, to give me a follow if you're not already following. I appreciate that. And click on the YouTube link and come subscribe over on YouTube and join the chat over on YouTube. We appreciate all of that. Thank you, everybody that's over on YouTube. Please subscribe if you already haven't. We're moving on. But somebody did have a question about where did I play. I played at Jeffersonville, Indiana, man. Jeffersonville. Anytime that you guys, you're thinking, hey, man, I got some free time. What should I do today? I'm going to go to YouTube and I'm going to type in 1993 Jeffersonville, Indiana basketball. If you do that on YouTube, you're going to come up with a couple of games. The state finals, there's a guy. There's an MVP of that game. I don't know his name. He's a sexy guy, although he was in high school. MVP of the 1993 Indiana final. Now, here's the thing. Indiana at the time only had one class. Now, they ruined the tournament by having a bunch of classes now, but at the time, there was only one class in Indiana. So there was one champion for all the schools. All I'm saying is, if you got time, go check it out. Go check it out. O.J. Simpson said he never wastes his time doing that. I guarantee you're the first person off of here that goes and does it today, my man. I guarantee you are. What's this fat dude talking about? Oh, that dude could play a little basketball, huh? Guaranteed, brother. Guaranteed. We know it. You know it. That's why you're in here. Love you, my man. So let's talk about the NFL Combine. Do y'all think it's a waste of time? I do. I think the end. I mean, other than having the interviews, I think the interviews are very important. But all the other stuff, I don't know. I mean, I've heard so many times from so many NFL players, like, when are you running in a straight line at 40 miles per hour on a football field? Even as a wide receiver, you're not running in a straight line. When do you just, okay, I'm going to line up, I'm just going to run straight? Even if you run a go route, you have to put on a move, you got to get in and out, something. There is never a time where you're just running directly straight 40 yards on a football field. So, I don't know. And no, Cheetah does not do that, my man. That's not what Tyreek Hill does. So, I'm just, in some of the drills, and I get it, you're looking for explosion and all of that stuff. Doesn't the tape tell you that? And again, I'm not a talent evaluator. I have a couple of friends that are scouts. They usually say the same thing that I'm saying. Yeah, I mean, we do it because we have to do it, but there's nothing that's going to happen in a combine that's going to outdo what you did on film. Absolutely nothing. And the scouts that I know don't take the combine near as serious as what they do film. Not even close to what they do film. But they got to be there. They have this. And maybe you see a couple of things that could translate to the NFL, that they do. And that's fine. But my whole thing is, if you run fast, did you play fast? And if you played fast, okay, that will translate. But if you run fast, but you didn't play fast on tape, then I really don't give a damn. And that's what those guys say. It's a double-edged sword, but it's all about making sense. And I just think a lot of times these guys, they put too much stock in these workout warriors. And we've seen it so many times. A lot of times it happens at the defensive end position, where you get these guys that they run these phenomenal times. And then you get them out on the field and they have no idea what a pass rush move is. They have no idea how to get off a block. They have no bend, but they ran fast and they did the 3-cone fast. Come on, man. It's stuff like that. Just put on the tape, and if the tape tells you something, go with the tape. Yes, people over here, it's more of a show voting for the combine. My thing about the combine, the interviews, I think, are extremely important. Extremely important. But think about this. Marvin Harrison Jr. is doing nothing. Now, when I say nothing, I don't mean at the combine, because there's a lot of guys that don't work out at the combine. He's doing nothing. Like at Ohio State, they're having a pro day. He's doing nothing. He's not doing anything. He just said, you all saw me play. Evaluate it. What am I going to do playing against air, running around in shorts, catching passes that I didn't do on a football field? I love that approach. I love that approach. Hey, you saw me. I can't do anything but harm myself by working out. Number one, I could get hurt. Maybe I drop a pass. Maybe I'm just not having a good day. You saw me on the football field. Evaluate it. Either I'm good or I'm not. And if you think that me running around catching passes with no pads on in shorts is better than what I did on the football field, I probably don't want to go to your organization anyway. I applaud Marvin Harrison Jr. 1,000%. I wish more guys would be that way. And yes, that's what the combine should be for guys that don't get exposure. But that's not what it is. It should absolutely be for guys that don't get the exposure. But that's not what it is. I mean, it's for guys out there. And I understand you're trying to increase your draft status. Everybody wants to increase their draft status because they want to get drafted higher, get paid more. They should. Absolutely. But what if you have a bad day that day? Then what? A lot of times the combine hurts guys because what they do at the combine, that's the last thing people will see. Oh man, he ran a bad 40 time. He slipped. He slipped down in the draft because he ran a bad 40 time. How many times have we seen that? And then we see the guy go on the field on Sunday and he's kicking ass. I mean, you know, everything shouldn't be boiled down to one day. And I get it. It's a job interview. I understand that. It's a job interview. And if the normal guy that goes to the tech company has a bad day at his interview, he may not get that job. But here's the thing. At that same interview at the tech company, did you see his work previous to that? Did you see all the work that he did up until that interview? Because if you did, and then his interview was just bad, would you still hire that guy? I'd be willing to say the tech company says yes. Because whatever the tech company did or what they saw to bring that guy in for the interview, they liked it. And so for them to like it enough to bring you in, they're not going to let just one bad interview get in the way of that. This should be the same thing, but it never is. It never is. You see it all the time. Or you see guys, the perfect example is I can never remember the guy's first name from the Jets, the horrible quarterback for the Jets. Last name is Wilson. I can never remember his name because he's so irrelevant. But that's exactly what happened with him. Yes, Zach Wilson. My bad, Zach, on TikTok. My bad, brother. How did he become the second pick in the draft? Because he made a throw in his pro day where he dropped back, spun around, threw the ball 60 yards, fading away. And from that, he moved ahead of all these other guys. And all of a sudden, everybody thought that he was God's gift to the quarterback position. All because of that. And turns out, yeah, he was horrible. Horrible. Can't read defenses. Just a bad quarterback in the NFL. Bad. But they based that off of a workout where no pass rush, in shorts, throwing the ball as far as you can and letting a receiver run under it. Impressive. Yeah, it didn't translate, did it? It's crazy. That's the thing that drives a lot of it. First of all, it gets GMs fired. It'll get you fired. Like, for instance, the guy that drafted him in New York, how's he still got a job? I mean, seriously. How many times do you get to miss on the number 2 pick in the draft? And what made you think he was better? What were you evaluating? It's weird. Somebody said he's still better than Mark Sanchez. There's a lot of us in here. I don't know. Mark Sanchez went to some AFC championship games. Now, before you blow me up, I get it. The defense literally picked him up and carried them to those games. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. And Sanchez was bad. He was bad. I get it. But man, the combine is just one of those things. Like I said, it's a big time job interview. But man, I just don't think that we have to put all the. And if more people did what Marvin Harrison did and just said, you know what, I'm not working out. I don't need to work out. You saw my film. You've seen me play. How good am I? You know, I can't do anything to improve what you've already seen. I can't. You know, if you think a guy, oh man, he runs outstanding routes. He runs better routes in this workout than he did on the field. Number one, do you know what you're watching? And number two, do you even want to draft that guy? If the guy runs better routes on air with no pads, shouldn't he? Shouldn't he run better routes? I don't know. That's just me. That's just me. Let's get to some more comments here. So, my man Jacob Perkins says, I know dudes don't want to risk injury, but they really need to be putting the pads on. I don't care what any offensive lineman ran in their 40. Can they run block? Can they stop a pass rusher? Yes, Jacob. Now, I don't agree with your putting on the pads part as far as working out, because you've already done that. You played in real football games. But I get what you're saying, Jacob. If my guy runs a 5.5 40 as an offensive lineman, okay. First of all, what did he run in the 10-yard? Let's start there, because that's about as far as an offensive lineman is going to get running 10 yards. How fast can he go? How quick can he get to that 10 yards? And can he run block? Can he move another human being against their will? Can he stop a pass rusher from getting around him and getting to the quarterback? Let's evaluate that. But they do it because they want to see how good of an athlete somebody is. And I remember, and again, this was years ago, and I didn't make it in the NFL. I was a 2-year starter at Kansas State, but I wasn't good enough to play in the NFL. But I remember a guy asked me, he said, well, Brien, I know this and that about you. He goes, how good an athlete are you? And I said, what do you mean? He goes, I mean, we need to see how good an athlete you are. And I go, I'm guessing this isn't the only time that you've seen me play. He goes, no, it isn't. And I go, so then you do know that I got recruited and went to Xavier on a basketball scholarship, right? Yeah. I go, how many guys go to Xavier playing shooting guard as a basketball player that aren't athletic? You know what? I never thought about that. I go, I'm not saying I won't do all these things. I said, but asking me how good an athlete I am, I go, I think you guys know that already. It's stuff like that. Now, maybe my attitude didn't get me drafted. I don't know. But I just wasn't good enough. But yeah, it's stuff like that. It's weird things that they ask you. I'm like, bro, you guys know all about me. So why are you asking me what kind of athlete I am? You know that already. What, are you asking me if I'm going to lie? So, but no, it's wild. But I love it, man. I love it. I just think the combine is a waste of time. I shouldn't say I love it. I love what Marvin Harrison Jr. is doing. And I wish more guys would do it. Now, here's the thing. Marvin Harrison's not working out, not even doing a pro day at Ohio State. If Caleb Williams does the exact same thing, I would bet you every single dollar that I have that the narrative about Caleb Williams is he's a head case, he's a diva, doesn't want to work hard. All of that stuff will come out about him. And none of that stuff will come out about Marvin Harrison Jr. I just, that's the thing. That's the thing. It's wild. It is wild. Dude is just salty. He had hopes of making it. I think I made it in life, my man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm on TikTok and you're on your phone watching me. I think I made it in life. I think I did okay for myself. Everybody can't play in the NFL. Come on now. I know it's cool to be rude and disrespectful. I get it. And it's fun. But I think I'm all right. I think I did all right. I got married, live in a decent house. People like me, including you, because you're on here watching me. So, just like you. So I don't need to be humble. Or I think I am being humble. But you're still in here. And you don't have to be, my guy. So we appreciate you being in here too. But we ain't going to change. We ain't going to change. But yeah, I think it's crazy. NFL Combine, I just think that'll come out about Caleb Williams. I'm telling you right now. That'll come out about him. And then if he does the exact same thing, that will come out. And then what? What should we say? What are we going to think? He's a diva. He doesn't want to work hard. He thinks he's above the process. Marvin Harrison Jr., smart, outstanding move. Great move. It's weird. It's just weird. Part of that is not Caleb Williams' fault. So, not a lot of it's not his fault. A lot of it his dad has brought on, talking about getting a piece of the franchise and all that nonsense. You got to stop that. You got to stop that. So, my man Austin over on YouTube, in my opinion, the Stroud and the cognitive test are an anomaly. I want my players, especially QBs, to be quick decision makers with a high IQ. And that just goes to prove, here's the thing. What if people aren't good at taking tests? How many smart people do we know out there that just aren't good at taking tests? But you put them on a football field, they can absolutely make quick decisions. You know, just because you're not good at taking tests doesn't mean you're dumb. So, doesn't mean you're dumb. Austin, why am I hating on Marvin Harrison Jr.? Or did you just come in here and just decide to say that I was hating? When everything that I said about Marvin Harrison Jr., I think what he's doing is awesome. You missed that part. But you're starting with bro, so I guess I can take it from there. I get it. What do I think about Drake May? I think Drake May is the best quarterback in the draft. I do. I think he's better than Caleb Williams. I take that back. I think Jaden Daniels is the best quarterback in the draft, but I think Drake May is right there with him. I think he's right there with him. I think they're both better than Caleb Williams. So and here's the thing. If Drake May is trash because he's played no good defenses, does that make you trash because you haven't played against anybody any good? Or does that just mean you haven't played against anybody any good? I'm just curious. I know it's cool to get on and to say, oh, he's trash. He hadn't played against anybody good. Well, does that make me trash? For instance, was Michael Jordan trash when he was playing against the worst team of the league? Or was he just playing against the worst team in the league? Just saying. It doesn't make you trash because you're playing against bad competition. That doesn't make you trash. Just the same way as you're not as good as somebody else because you played with good players. Oh, he played with good players. He's not any good. Oh, wait a minute. Yes, I am. It just means I play with other good players. So that's all I'm saying. Mac Jones and Drake May, they don't have anything to do with each other. Stop. Just stop it. So, and what does Mac Jones and Drake May, they don't even play alike. So making that comparison is wild at best, but we'll let you make it, my man. We will let you make it. We appreciate you being in here. Pat Cockrell says, am I the only person who thinks Caleb Williams will be good, but not the prospect that he's projected to be? I think he'll be good. I think he can be great. It's tough if he goes to Chicago to be great, though. I mean, when was the last time Chicago been any good? When is the last time Chicago has developed a quarterback at all? Whew. I mean, never. I can't think of anybody. Hold on, wait a minute. Austin Hunter on TikTok said that Mac Jones, who's like a statue, and Drake May are carbon copies? Look, I try to be nice. I do. But if you are saying that Drake May and Mac Jones are carbon copies of each other, please Just go watch some more football. Will you please do that? Or was that just the cool thing to say so you could argue on TikTok? I get it if that's it. I totally understand. But I'm just asking. If that's what you really, really think, I'm okay with that. I would just suggest that you go watch more, and then you'll understand that they're not the same player. That's all I'm saying. See, I'm growing. I'm growing. You know, if this was a few days ago, I would have called you the dumbest person in the world that doesn't know anything about football. I didn't say that. I'm growing. I'm trying to evolve, people. I'm trying to evolve. So I'm just evolving. My man Austin over here on YouTube, Caleb Williams seems to have a mental or emotional risk, but nothing physically or talent-wise. I don't know. I mean, people are making a big deal about how he lost the game and went and cried on his mother's shoulder. I don't know. I mean, maybe, if you're invested in something that deep, and remember, what is he, 20 years old? Hell, I lost the last game of my college career, or not even last game. I lost the game to go to the national championship. I cried. I was upset and I cried. Now, I did it in the locker room, but that happened. I was upset. So I don't fault somebody for being upset when they lost the game. Some people are just emotional. So some things are just emotional. So I don't fault him for that. So my man Darren Howard, always coming up with good knowledge. CJ Stroud didn't test well. How did that work out? Exactly, people. CJ Stroud didn't test well. And lo and behold, he's a top 10 quarterback in his rookie year in the NFL. It worked out. It worked out. So everything's not always what they seem, man. Turn on the tape. The tape tells you more. Or, especially at the quarterback position, just get them on the chalkboard. Get them on the whiteboard and let them tell you what to see. Get them on the iPad. Let them tell you what they see. Don't just, we gave him this cognitive test and he didn't do well. Hey, man, maybe he doesn't care about that. Maybe he just cares about, I can read every defense that you can throw out there. I can recognize any coverage, even if they try to disguise it. I can do all of that. I can break it all down. Is that what you want as a quarterback? Or do you want to see if he did well on this test? And I know, they go hand in hand, Big B. They can, but they don't have to. They just don't have to. So that's all I'm saying. Let's move on, people. Let's move on. I've been waiting to talk about this all week long. Top 5 rush ends of all time. And I know a lot of people are going to have a lot of different opinions. So, number 1, first off, let's just start here. As I said, I've humbled myself. If anybody is arguing that Lawrence Taylor is not the best rush in outside linebacker, yada, 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 we're including him as an outside linebacker. We're just talking about rush ends. If you rush off the end, regardless of position, Lawrence Taylor is number 1. Lawrence Taylor is number 1. So let's start there. Dwight Freeney is not in the top 5. No. Reggie White would be number 2. Reggie White is definitely number 2. Okay? Now, this is where some people, and here's somebody, Marcos, we can't even take you seriously, my guy, saying no way Lawrence Taylor is number 1. Lawrence Taylor is the best football player of all time, but somehow he wasn't a good rush-in. It's okay. We're not even going to take you serious. So number 3, and this is where some people are going to disagree. I have Derek Thomas. ahead of Bruce Smith, and Bruce Smith is number 4. I got Derek Thomas. So, at Derek Thomas at number 3. So, and I got Bruce Smith at number 4. Now, number 5 is where it really gets dicey. I saw somebody put in here on TikTok said Deacon Jones. And somebody said Micah Parsons is better than Lawrence Taylor. I will never take you serious on anything ever, ever, ever. So, but number 5 is where it can get dicey. Somebody brought up, nobody brought up DeMarcus Ware. You could put on DeMarcus Ware. Somebody brought up Deacon Jones. Somebody brought up who? Yes, I already said Bruce Smith. Dwight Freeney. Michael Strahan. I said J.J. Watt. I went with J.J. Watt. Now, Watt played a weird position because they played a 3-4 or a 4-3 defense, or take that back, a 3-4 defense, and he kind of rushed at that weird 4-eye position. So, was he a defensive end or was he more of a defensive tackle? I don't know. So, but I liked him. Now, if anybody said, hey, Brian, come on, Michael Strahan, I'm not going to argue with you. Deacon Jones, I'm not going to argue with you. Julius Peppers, I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not going to argue with you about any of those. But I will argue with you if you say that Lawrence Taylor's not number 1. I will argue with you, and I will come out of my zone and get back into my comfort zone and call you an idiot. Number 2, if you say that Reggie White wasn't at least number 2, I'm going to argue with you. Now, number 3, I mean, like I said, number 3, Derek Thomas. I don't think people understand how good Derek Thomas was. I just don't think people know. He died too soon. He never won a Super Bowl, but Derek Thomas was the absolute truth. So, Derek Thomas was the absolute truth. So, and I like Dwight Freeney. I think he's great. So, but no, we're not talking about off-the-field contributions. Hell, if we're talking about off-the-field contributions, my man David Gonzalez says, then Lawrence Taylor can't even be on the list. He can't even be on the list if we're talking about off-the-field stuff. Lord have mercy. But then again, I'm not talking about off-the-field stuff because if y'all were here 2 weeks ago, OJ was in the top 5 running backs. OJ, TikTok. That OJ. So just so we know, we're not talking about anything off the field because if we do that, we got to start eliminating people. And I like the juice. We got to have the juice. We can't. Did he kill somebody? Did he not? I don't know. I wasn't there. I can't answer that question. Thing about Lawrence Taylor, you know what he did. Lord have mercy. I mean, whew. But either way, Lawrence Taylor, he's the best. Julius Peppers, like I said, if somebody puts Julius Peppers at number 5, I'm never going to argue with you. Or has him in your top 5, I'm not going to argue. But LT number 1, Reggie White number 2, Derek Thomas number 3, Bruce Smith number 4, and I have J.J. Watt at number 5. So, Von Miller, that's another one. And yes, he is the closest thing to Derek Thomas with the bend, the speed, and the size. Because Derek Thomas wasn't a big dude. People think Derek Thomas, 260 pounds. If Derek Thomas was 230, he wasn't 231. Derek Thomas was not a big guy, and neither is Von Miller. So what happened to Mike Singletary? He played middle linebacker. He doesn't qualify for this one, my man. But we'll get to that probably next week. You think Miles or TJ could be in the combo? They're still playing, so no, but they can get there. But these are the all-time best. Like when you think of the all-time best pass rushers, TJ Watt and Myles Garrett don't come to mind just yet. I'm not saying they can't get there, but you don't think about them just yet. Not yet. They can get there, though. So they can get there. Somebody said Warren Sapp. Come on, Dennis. Come on, man. I'm trying. Look, people, I'm trying. I'm trying to evolve. And when people say Warren Sapp, as far as being a rush end, what am I supposed to say to that? Goon Squad, help me. Help me help you. When we're talking about the best rush ends of all time, and somebody brings up Warren Sapp, you guys tell me what you would like for me to say to that person. Because I'm trying to be a better man. I'm trying to be a better man. But I don't know what I'm supposed to say. Should I just say, hey, man, I'm sorry Warren Sapp was a defensive tackle. I apologize. I don't think you guys want me to say that. I don't think y'all want me to say that at all. I think somebody said, hey, that's an unintelligent answer. Warren Sapp played the defensive tackle position. He doesn't qualify for this. Is that better? I don't even think you guys want me to do. First of all, yeah. I don't even think you guys want me to say it that way either. But I'm trying to be a better man. But y'all got to help me. Help me help you, man. Oh, man. Oh, my goodness. And see, we got our man Jacob over here on YouTube being funny. I love it. Be fair, Dennis. He also had Warren Sapp and BJ Raji as the best cornerbacks, too. See? Y'all aren't helping me. I'm trying to be better. You guys are not helping me. I'm trying. Oh. All-time best lists are always flawed because you can't compare different generations. Training gets better. Nutrition gets better. Sports medicine gets better. Got to do best of the decade. Yeah. What player in any decade ever is better than Lawrence Taylor? I mean, you can put on the film and you can watch. So, what player in any era? Because right now, if you drop Lawrence Taylor in this era today, he is dominating. He is literally dominating. You drop Reggie White in this era today, he's still throwing tackles around and dominating. So, come on, man. You can compare. You can compare. It depends. But you can absolutely compare. Reggie would absolutely dominate. And Reggie would still be throwing around tackles. Lawrence Taylor would be running around through tackles and killing your quarterback. LT. Oh, here's another one. My man Brandon. He said Brian Urlacher. You guys tell me what I should say, people. You guys tell me what I should say. I don't want to be that guy. I'm trying to be a better man. I'm trying. But Brian Urlacher, here I'll do it. Hey, my man Brandon. Brian Urlacher was a middle linebacker. He didn't play rush in. So we're talking about the best rush ins or best pass rushers on the outside of all time. That's what we're talking about. I apologize, Brandon. See? Growth. You know? Nah, don't worry about it, Brandon. We're just messing around with you. See, basically what this comes down to, I'm an asshole. Okay? That's what this comes down to. I'm an asshole. When somebody says something silly, I respond like I'm an asshole. But I was told that I'm being too much of an asshole, so I need to change. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to grow. You don't have to be sorry, though. I tell you what, Joe Montana was the best edge rusher ever. See, now y'all just pissing me off. See, now y'all are just being funny. Now you guys are being ridiculous. That's why you got to love people on TikTok. They will take, if you give them an inch, they will take 10 miles and run with it. I love it. YouTube, y'all do the same thing. I get, especially this David Gonzalez character. I mean, first of all, he's been to my house, people. So I know how crazy this dude is. You give this guy an inch, he'll run the whole length of the country. Just give him a little inch. Unbelievable, this guy. I love him. Don't get me wrong. I love him. But he's crazy. He's crazy. Khalil Mack. I don't know. And he's not top 5 or top 10, but Khalil Mack is very good. And that's the thing. You don't have to be, if you're not in the top 5 or a top 10 of something, that doesn't mean you're not any good. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't mean you're not any good. Khalil Mack's not top 15 pass rushers of all time. No, he's not. But again, he's great. Jarrod Allen, he's in the top 10 for me. Von Miller is definitely in the top 10. Definitely. Derek Thomas says Rodney White changed my love for edge rushers. Dude was different. Yeah, he was. That's why we had Derek Thomas at number 3. Well, I'll go through the list again. At number 5, we said J.J. Watt. At number 4, we had Bruce Smith. How come there's not a lot of people that in here that are talking about Bruce Smith? Well, here's somebody who just said Bruce Smith 5, but nobody really brought up Bruce Smith. So, but I got J.J. Watt at 5, Bruce Smith at 4, Derek Thomas at 3, Reggie White at 2, Lawrence Taylor at 1. So, that would be the list that I have. So, yeah, Bruce Smith played for Buffalo. And I think he played for Washington at the end. But he was just trying to get the sack record at the end. He wasn't really that effective. So, 6 and 7 would be Ware and Strahan. I think I got Strahan at 6. Oh, I may have Strahan at 6, Peppers at 7, Von Miller at 7, Peppers at 8. Richard Dent? Yeah, I don't know. I think I would have Charles Haley. Somebody put it, yeah, Ricky. I think I'd have Charles Haley before Richard Dent. So, and then I'm not going to disrespect. Look, nobody saw him play. There's not that much footage that you can find of Deacon Jones. So, I'm just not as sure how explosive Deacon Jones could be. And Too Tall Jones wasn't that good. Not to be considered in this. And Too Tall Jones played defensive tackle. So, see? April 8th said, educate, don't humiliate. That's what you guys want from me, isn't it? TikTok and YouTube? If somebody says something that's out of bounds, y'all would rather me educate versus humiliate. I can get down with that. It's not going to be as much fun. Yeah, see, somebody said, nah, humiliation is the best form of education. See, I can't with you people. Here I am trying to be a better man, show some growth. I'm not going to humiliate anybody. But no, my man Perk said no. Humiliation is the best form of education. My goodness. My man Mike Yates said, why not both? Gosh. Oh. Oh, well. What am I going to do with you people? Oh, Mike Yates said Khalil Mack is arguably not even top 5 of his era. I could agree with that. I would agree with that. I like Khalil Mack. I think he's a great player. But, yeah, to put him on a list, that would be tough. That would be tough. For instance, he had 16 and a half sacks this year. Where would you rank him this year? I mean, I know we think TJ Watt's better. We think Myles Garrett is better. We think Micah Parsons is better. And I don't think there's any argument for that. So, April H said, put it on a shirt. What should we put on a shirt, though? Educate, don't humiliate? Or humiliation is the best form of education? That would be the question. Oh, man. Jess says, Big B, be yourself. You know what, Jess? I am 1,000% going to be that, man. Life is way too short not to be myself. Way too short. Make them both and see which one works. Speaking of that, we are coming out with shirts. And it'll be sooner than what you guys think. So, Deacon Jones didn't make my top 5, man, but we love Deacon Jones. But I am going to come out with some shirts. I got Goon Squad shirts for sure because y'all been asking for them. So, we're definitely getting Goon Squad shirts. We got Make It Make Sense, and we got Fraud of the Week. And we'll have shirts, long sleeve, short sleeve, hoodies, all that kind of good stuff, man. We'll have them all. And we'll have a Big B Sports Talk. So we will put all that out. I appreciate everybody being here, man. We had a great week this week. We're going to shut this one down today, but we had a great week this week. The one thing that I ask, come back next week, tell some more people about us. If you're on TikTok, please give us a follow if you're not following already. And click on the link in my bio and come subscribe to Big B Sports Talk on YouTube. And if you're on YouTube and you're not subscribed, please subscribe. We appreciate it. Tell all the people on TikTok it's better. It's better. That side is better. You get access to a ton more stuff. Not to mention, we have a podcast that we do instant replay, 8 o'clock at night on Tuesdays. Come check that out. That's hilarious. If y'all had a good time here with just me and my boy CC on Tuesday night, you guys are going to have a ball. You will have a ball. So I appreciate everybody being here, man. We had a great week. I appreciate everybody coming back. Like I said, we'll be back Monday. We'll do it better. Until then, aloha.